Hi everyone, James here with another vlog, and today is my, what is it, 22nd vlog. Ugh, how do I do so many vlogs, honestly? Oh well. So anyway, just as a little bit of a heads up for you guys, um, if you recall last year, I went to a Heroes and Legends convention in Belfast in W5, and basically a lot of well-known sci-fi celebrities were there, like Nick Ross, who is a Transformers artistic artist or stuff like that, a former Doctor Who, an actress from like Battlestar Galactica or something like that, and a whole bunch of other people. Now, today week, which is the 16th of February, Heroes and Legends actually returns to Belfast, so I'm going to be there next week, and I'll get as much footage as I can with my phone. So yeah. Now, I also want to talk to you guys about what's been going on lately. Now, all throughout January, now for the first 3 weeks of January, actually, no, sorry, from the second to the fourth week of January, I was doing 6 GCSEs in order to do, in order to get grades and stuff like that. Now, if you don't know what GCSEs are, go Google them. You'll get the answer fairly quickly. But 6 GCSEs, two English, a math or maths, learning for life and work, aka LLW, and physics and chemistry. Yeah. I had a mental meltdown at the time. Trust me. You would not want to know what's going up in here. But now the week after, I did two equivalent to class tests called mocks. One in ICT or IT, the other in additional maths. Let me give this as a bit of advice to further generations who are watching this video. If you want to do add maths in GCSE and you are a complete genius at maths or whatever, do it. If you're not like me, please don't. Do something like art or technology or whatever. Ooh. But I'm stuck here doing additional maths work on a Saturday. Well, it was my choice, unfortunately. So that's the worst part. Um, but I actually want to talk to you guys about something. Now, the first thing is, gosh, what was it? Yes. If you guys recall, whenever I first set up my YouTube channel, I actually for about a week had a video audition, a voice audition video up. It's still there, but it was basically asking people to if they'd like to do voice roles or do stuff in an upcoming stop motion series of mine, which at the time was just going to be a Transformers stop motion series, very loosely based around the company Titan Magazine's 2007 Transformers comics, including a little bit of the 2007 movie of the Transformers itself. But at first I only expected to do maybe about 6 episodes for that their series. Then I intended to do like season 2 and season 3, um, which basically would have revolved around the basically each series would have revolved, or each season would have revolved around the Transformers live action movies. For example, season 1 would have revolved around TF1, season 2 Revenge of the Fallen, season 3 Dark of the Moon, etc., etc. Now, at first I thought, now I actually got most of episode 1 done at the time. The only problem was that, well, a few things actually happened. The first thing was not all the voice actors sent me their lines. Yes, I actually got that far. Um, my dad actually rebooted my laptop to have a Windows 7 Windows 7 on it. So unfortunately, the Movie Maker program I was using at the time, out the window. No pun intended about the Windows thing. Didn't realize there myself. Then after that, I just got bored and I decided not to do it. So really, most of the photos that I have of episode 1 are actually still on my laptop. Um, But here's the thing, I actually plan to redo that series. Now, this is the second time I've actually planned on redoing it. The first occasion, I actually planned on renaming it Transformers Battle for Survival, and basically it would have the exact same concept and everything else. Now, for the second redo of it, I don't actually intend on bringing it out um, all throughout this year, 2013, or maybe 2014. Basically because to do with boring schoolwork and you know financial reasons, maybe work, etc., etc. A lot of boring stuff. Bleh. Ugh. But basically, my ideas are now revolving around, again, the Titan magazines of the 2007 line. Basic, just for a bit of an update. For those of you who don't know, Titan Magazines is a UK comic company which between 2007 and 2011 brought out magazines for the Transformers movie trilogy. They also brought out a Transformers animated comic or magazine, and quite recently they've started to bring out Transformers Prime comics, which is pretty good to see. Now, in case some of you have actually heard of this before, Crosshair's 001's Transformers Uprising series was actually based around several of the episodes used by, was actually based around many stories created by Titan Comics, or Titan Magazines. And at the very end, in the very final issue before Revenge of the Fallen was released, now, basically, here's just a bit of an update. Between the first Transformers movie came out and Revenge of the Fallen, Titan Magazines brought out a story basically talking about what if Decepticons took over the planet and they decided to exile the Autobots, which in turn kind of found its way into Dark of the Moon, excluding the part where they killed Ironhide. They didn't. Titan Magazines never killed Ironhide. But at the very end, Unicron actually took over Cybertron, and unfortunately, they actually blew up Cybertron to kill Unicron. But now Shockwave was nowhere to be mentioned in this. Instead, it was a guy called Stockade and a couple of other guys. But long story short, my season one series will be based around maybe 1 or 2 thousand years before the start of the Cybertronian War. Um, It'll actually include the Fallen. I'm trying to work out a decent plot in order to introduce him, but my main priority stands that he will be one of the maybe 7 or 13 original primes. I'm still thinking about it, but I need your help on that. Should I have 7 original primes or 13 original primes? You guys help. But basically, the phone will be introduced. Megatron and the 4 other Makuta Lords that I have thought up, basically they will be introduced as well, and they will help carry the story along for season 1. Then Megatron will pursue the Allspark after Optimus has it launched into space. Megatron winds up on prehistoric Earth. He falls through the ice. He freezes. Then the entire war eventually starts to die down, but still a lot of casualties. War moves to Earth, Megatron is defeated, the Allspark poof, and yeah. Now I know that seems like a lot of spoilers, but it's basically much less based around the entire Transformers 2007 movie. Then, as for season 2, again, it will follow along the movie line of Revenge of the Fallen, where the Fallen is at last introduced, but also I want to try something else. Now, the Fallen will be introduced, as I said. However, whenever it comes to it, Revenge of the Fallen is a very difficult thing to try and re-script in order to get into maybe 12 or 13 episode season. The reason being is because while Revenge of the Fallen was a decent movie, maybe not the best out of the 3 Transformer movies, it still is hard to write up. Now, there are the basic principles: ancient evil, reawakening, Optimus Prime gets killed, gets brought back, beats the Fallen, kills him, etc., etc. But basically, my plan is that, you know, again, more Autobots will be introduced, but I also want to kind of bring in a sort of concept of Transformers Prime Season 2 in the likes of the introduction of like the Icon relics. Um, how many I've thought about, I haven't really. Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, some weird come up there. Anyway, basically, I want to introduce the Star Saber. Maybe the Dark Star Saber. I'm still questioning that. I actually have plans to introduce Sentinel Prime in Season 3, and he will use the Forge of Solus Prime, so don't expect the Forge of Solus Prime to appear in Season 2. And then after that, Season 3 will then come in, where Sentinel is introduced. Now, he doesn't even plan on being the biggest bad guy. It'll still be Megatron. But basically, if you recall Transformers Prime Season 1, Episode 5, whenever Megatron gets blown up by the space bridge, that's my plan for somewhere in Season 3. Do I plan on spoiling anyone for the amount of detail I've told them? Anyone? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have spoken about that. But basically, that is my general idea for the series. Now, should I bring out a season 4? I don't know. If Transformers 4, which is coming out in 2014, if it comes out and it's actually pretty good, then I may consider a fourth series. Again, I'm still questioning it, but if it comes out and everything and it's good and I plan on doing a season 4, then expect a season 4. But basically, again, I said I won't be bringing it out to either this year, 2013, or next year, 2014. Basically for, well, maybe 3 reasons. The first is that I need to improve my stop motion skills. If you've seen any of my stop motions, they're decent, but they seriously need work, and I'm willing to accept that. So, the second thing is that I need to get sound effects, music. Well, maybe I might actually get a composer to actually compose brand new music for the series because I don't want to get copyright issues and all that there. So yeah. And then the third thing is that I need to drastically increase my Transformers collection in order to do the series, as well as Lego and stuff like that. The reason being is because Megatron himself will actually need my idea for Megatron or Megatronus, as he will be originally a gladiator. He will need to have 2 giant blades and a shield. Now, the swords may originate from Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, and then the shield might be something I build out of Lego, or it might be something that I'll actually make myself. I'm still not sure about it, but basically that is my plan for my soon-to-be stop-motion series. Now, episode 1 for the original series that I did. Now, I hope I still have the script because basically I can rewrite it. Excuse me. Where basically that will then come into play somewhere about mid-season, if not second half of the season. But after that, then things will kick off from there. But basically that is it, and that's to talk about the stop motion series. The next thing I want to talk about to get on with it is my Transformers Prime Voyager bulkhead custom. If you give me a moment. Now, many of you guys were actually impressed with the custom arm job that I did for this guy. In fact, I'll actually just see if I can pull it out here. Yeah, there we have the hands. Now, as you can notice, I've cut a giant section out in order to remove the hands freely and then add in the weapons. Now, hopefully the weapons should be about here somewhere. Let's see now. Yeah, basically here we have the gun, well, one of the 2 guns and the mace. I actually plan on buying a secondary bulkhead in order to get a second mace, but now basically, as I said in Bulkhead's review, he is a decent figure. He's not the greatest ever released, but of late he started to, I don't know, he started to grow on me. Basically, I still accept that he's not the best figure released for the Transformers Prime line, but he is still a decent figure. I mean, the mace is great now that I have it customized and everything. By the way, in order to get the hands in and out and then hold the weapons in place, I've actually customized two Lego bits pieces here in order to fit in and slide out with ease. Then, in order to hold them in place, I've actually put in blue tack, so basically they sit in place, they're fine. So yeah, still, I think the mace looks really, really good. I won't lie, really, really good. So yeah, now I'm just now of late I've actually started to upload quite a few more reviews. I've done two Transformers Prime reviews, one of Ultra Magnus, one of Thundertron. My Ultra Magnus shoulder issue, you know, with his right shoulder and how it just drops, I have that sorted out. I actually put in blue tack just to stop it from moving about, so now it works fine. And the same goes with my Megatron arm. It was very loose up at the shoulder as well. A little bit of blue tack on there, and you know, works great now. Now also again, I did a Thundertron review. I've done a Lego Hero Factory Brain Attack, Furno XL, and Rocker review. Great figures. Then for Lego Ninjago, I've done the Final Battle Cole's Earth Drill and Kai's Fire Mech review. Both are great sets. Kai's Fire Mech is still a little odd in my opinion, but it's still decent. The minifigures in it are best, if you ask me. And then, last but not least, I recently did a Lego Ninjago Ultrasonic Raider review. Sorry. Now, I must say, I think the Ultrasonic Raider is perhaps the best Lego set released for the Ninjago line. Well, the best set released in the Ninjago line. Duh. But I still think that it's worth buying, if you ask me. So yeah. Now, last but not least, in order to get this wrapped up, I've recently been to see three movies: Life of Pi, Lincoln, and Wreck-It Ralph. Now, let me say this in the most honest yet non-biased way that I can. Life of Pi sucks. Lincoln, decent but still bad. Well, alright, but still not the best movie ever made. And Wreck-It Ralph, awesome. Now here's the reason why. Life of Pi was decent. I'll say that at the most. Decent. Excuse me. But but it was still very long, and in fact, you see in the ad, you actually get the entire plot just wrapped up in 30 seconds. You know, you have this guy on a boat, the boat kind of sinks, he gets stuck in a lifeboat with a tiger, you know, he has to prevent being eaten alive, etc., etc., and that was the entire plot wrapped up in the ad. Have you ever seen those kinds of ads for movies where the ad was actually, say for example, it was a comedy movie, where the ad was actually funnier than the movie? In this case, it's where the entire movie is told in 30 seconds. So yeah, it's like Romeo and Juliet. The prologue to it basically tells about all that. Basically, it gives the entire definition of why the hatred has come about, and you know that's what the entire play is based on. But yeah, then Lincoln. Now I'll say this. Lincoln is incredibly well written. Now, recently, in my mind, I seem to be breaking things down a lot further or a lot finer than what I previously did. Now, Lincoln was well written. It was very nicely directed. You know, I'm not trying to be biased and say that Steven Spielberg did great with this movie. I still think he did fine with it. It's still not his greatest production ever, I'll say that. But there were two things that I found wrong with the movie. The first was that there was actually, I take that back. There were three things wrong with the movie. The first was it was a lot. There was a lot and a lot of talking, non-stop. The second was that it was very politically based. For example, if you see all those critics and everything giving it like 5 stars, 10 out of 10, basically the reason, in my belief, that they're doing that is because they see that as politically a political movie triumph or masterpiece. Really, if you're like me and my dad who went to see it as well, if you're going to see it simply because you want to just have a good, just in terms of like entertainment purposes, I wouldn't advise going to watch it. And then the third thing wrong with it, in my opinion, was that it was classified. Personally, I believe it was classified in the wrong genre. It was said to be a thriller, but you see, in my opinion, if it was to be listed under two new genres, these would be them: political and historic. Those are the two main categories or genres I would have placed that under if should they be invented or created or whatever. And then finally, Wreck-It Ralph. Now, I won't lie, Disney over the last 5 years has released Bolt, Tangled, and Wreck-It Ralph. Now, Bolt was basically it's the exact same Disney Pixar animation. So basically, sometimes you might get a little bit confused. I got confused at first about Bolt, but I only found it out there only a short while ago that Bolt was released by Disney Animation. So basically, Bolt was very good. It still didn't have a great plot in my opinion, but it was still good. Tangled was incredibly funny. Now, I won't lie, coming from a 15-and-a-half-year-old, Tangled is still funny. I won't lie. And then we now move on to Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph has the most original script or writing I've seen in quite a while. Okay, sure, it involves, basically it involves all the original sort of like video game characters. You even see Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik, Super Mario's arch nemesis, the giant turtle dinosaur-like thing guy, whatever. And then, you have three different video games that Ralph travels to. His own game, which is Fix-It Felix Jr., Sugar Rush, where most of the movie actually takes place, and then Hero's Duty, which is incredibly cool. Now, Wreck-It Ralph contains some of the best animation I've seen in comparison to Pixar. Now, Pixar and Disney animation are the exact same, but I thought the animation in Wreck-It Ralph was to the finest detail, just as all Pixar movies are. Now, whenever it comes to it, Wreck-It Ralph had a very good it had a very good plot, very good characters, excellent music, very, very well thought out graphics. In fact, have you ever seen pixels? You know how they might be like rectangular shaped and everything. Most of the movie is some parts of the movie, like whenever a cake is splattered and one character glitches about all over the place. There is a big use of like rectangles and a little bit of like code, like 10101, that there sort of thing. Now, it was very well done, and I have to give a lot of credit to the animators. But in the end, I still have to give Wreck-It Ralph a huge, huge applause. Now, while I accept that it isn't the greatest movie ever made, I still think I could see this movie getting an Oscar, or maybe two, I don't know. But now, I know the Oscars might be over, but I still hope this movie wins several awards. That's my hope. And in the end, I give Wreck-It Ralph a 9.5 out of 10. Now, I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because really that would just seem too biased. So I'll be nice and I'll give it a 9.5. Besides, how better could you get than that besides a 10? You know? I need more oxygen. There we are. Now, again, next Saturday I will be going to the Heroes and Legends convention. I'll take a good few photos, a lot of footage, and all that other stuff. So yeah, and that is it for now. Okay, this is Night Slash 2020 Junior. Subscribe to my channel for videos and more. Like me on Facebook by searching for Night Slash 2020 Junior. Have a nice day. See you all around. And don't forget to check out my new Night Slash 2020 Junior Facebook page. I've actually recently set up a brand new personal company called JL Films. The title itself is pretty cool, and all that other stuff. So go check it out if you want to. Some of you might already have seen it in the custom bulkhead video. But in the end, this is Night Slash 2020 Junior. Have a nice day. See you all around. Until next time, bye everyone, and stay safe.